Hi, Dr. Lovejoy. Thank you very much for taking a few minutes just to chat with me about the Children's Eternal Rainforest in Monteverde, and also just the big picture of how you see the planet progressing here, and of course where this very special forest fits into this bigger picture. We've been really grateful for your help on the board, being on the Monteverde Conservation League U.S. board, and just would love to hear some of your thoughts about the forest.
Great. Well, so, I think we've arrived at a point where we actually have to manage our planet at the scale of the planet. We have to restore its biology, take CO2 out of the atmosphere in the process of doing that, putting back natural functions into the landscape. And that's a pretty big agenda. But in the end, that agenda is made up of pieces. And if the pieces aren't there, there is no big agenda. And so the Children's Eternal Rainforest is right there as an important piece for our future.
Could you also just share a little bit about the state of biodiversity on a global scale, and also the value of the biodiversity that you see in the Children's Eternal Rainforest?
So there are all kinds of things that are really driving down biological diversity on the planet, but that in the end has to be turned around. It's important for huge numbers of reasons, including our own vested interest in how they help us understand how biology works, including our own biology. But it's also just wonderful, just like it is when you go to Monteverde. You're there in the clouds, and there are all these extraordinary plants and animals, and the quetzals and trees that are just taking moisture right from the clouds. All the birds and the amphibians and the insects. It's just, it's a real life Garden of Eden.
The Monteverde Conservation League, which of course we are supporting as a partner, and which you've been supporting as a member of this board for so many years, it just has a wonderful track record with its reforestation and the fact that it's many hundreds of thousands of trees it's planted are still standing and doing great good for the planet. Can you talk about just the kind of the big picture of climate change and where this special forest fits into it, as well as our reforestation plans to add more trees?
So most people don't realize it, but twice in the history of life on Earth there have been amazingly high levels of CO2 in the atmosphere, driving climatic conditions way beyond the kind that we're even driving at the moment. And in both instances, it was biology that brought those CO2 levels down, brought the climate impact down. The first time was when plants emerged on land, and the second time was when flowering plants were able to do it all that more efficiently. So when you really think about managing the planet's climate, managing the planet's CO2 levels, you have to take the biology into account. So we need to restore that biology, and we need to protect the biology and standing forests we have. And that's precisely what's going on with the Monteverde Conservation League.
I know you're a great proponent of saving biodiversity and species from extinction. Can you talk too about the part that the Children's Eternal Rainforest just plays in this in the big picture of saving the biodiversity of our planet?
So when one thinks about the biological diversity of the planet, some of the most important places to save are tropical forests, including cloud forests. In fact, cloud forests are more endangered than rainforest. So for cloud forest biodiversity, having a sanctuary like the Children's Eternal Forest is just essential.